Hello, it's time for, I'm going to do another coding stream. So my camera is going to be a little messed up because I'm relaying my actual webcam through the virtual cam in another instance of OBS over here. Like this is not my actual OBS. This is just what I'm using to test the new filter I'm going to make, because if I have to change my filter library at all, then I'd have to restart OBS. So I'm doing it in a separate OBS so that I don't have to bring down my stream if I have to add anything new. I probably won't have to because I already did this part where I added to my little stream test setup, my filter test setup, the ability to load a texture so that we can have our little. Let me find it. Do, 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 do. Ah, no, you there. You can have our little rainbow texture, which is this tiny thing that you can't see. It is 8 pixels. Oh, interesting. Airfin View is doing some filtering. That's not actually how it looks. You can open it in Paint. Please, Paint. Do you not do drag and drop anymore? That's lame. There we go. There, these 8 pixels for our rainbow colors. No, 1 by 8 texture loading in here. Also, hello, Rayburst. Sorry, I had everything blocking my view there for a minute. Couldn't really see. Where was it? Right, so I added to this. Oh, hey, I guess the attract thing that I added after the last stream to make it randomly sometimes pull the research data is working. I should probably have it not echo to the chat when it does that, though, and just have it show up here like it's doing. Oh well, it's probably not going to do it that often because there's other things that it does for attract and whatnot. Anyway, yeah, so this stuff is new where I'm adding where I'm loading in that texture. And so here we have our filters on here. We have our old filter. There's our wave face effect, and we have the new one, which right now is pretty much just a copy of the old. And if we go and look at the actual filter here, that is running just as test 10. This is just a copy of the other one, except that I did add this line just to test that my texture sampler my new texture was working. So if I swap that in there, hit save, and that should have done something different, but it did not. Must have changed something else in here. Also, my glasses are super dirty. Excuse me a second. I can't see anything. There we go. Now I can see. Oh, is it just doing that over and over? I might have to do something to disable that. Oh, there we go. I guess I just had to refresh my poll profile change. So now it does this. And that's how I know I'm getting my texture in there, because it's still got the wave stuff on there. So let me take all of this old wave stuff out. UVs, UV.in, get rid of all this other stuff. We don't need this time thing either. There. Now we're just seeing all our colors, and it's blending between the colors because our filter mode is set to linear. We don't want it to do that. We can do filter mode point, and then we just have all our colors from left to right covering our stream. But that's pretty, but it isn't super interesting because it's not like showing anything, and it's just a bunch of colors, and I could just use an image for that. So let's leave it like this because it'll be easier for me to see what I'm doing wrong if I mess something up. for now, and then I might try see if I like it better in linear mode. So the kind of the goal here, what I want to see is I want to have like an arcing rainbow moving up like through my face, but not drawing where like I have no face. Let's do that last part first. We're gonna sample our actual, like my face picture to get the face pixel or face pixel. And we're going to multiply its alpha by our alpha here. And A space. I mean, we probably don't really need to bring the alpha from the other one, but base pixel A. See if that does anything. There, and now we have this, which is kind of cool. Actually, this is kind of cool. It's only cool if I'm moving around, though. If I'm just kind of sitting still, it's still not very interesting. But if I was going to dance, this is kind of a neat effect, even without any motion. And just for fun, let's swap it back to linear. See it more smoothly going. Whee! Okay, now let's make it arc. And actually, let's, or do I want to blend it? The other thing I could do is I could blend it with my, okay, it's just doing this over and over. Let's, I'm gonna go see why my bot keeps doing this particular thing over and over. So in attract module, in main attract. Maybe it's the only thing that's set up to do an attract. That would be kind of strange. Internal do attract. Let's find our correct one. See, is anything else set up for attract right now? That would be a yes, but only one other thing, and that's the persistent poll thing, and I think there are no persistent polls loaded, so that's why it's doing this over and over. I thought I had some other things set up, but none of them must be running right now. So we're going to make this a little bit less obnoxious. Did it go to the right one? No. Maybe it would go the right one. Hi, C101. So let's just go. Yeah, do attract here. And I'm just going to do a quick hack to make it not echo into chat here if it is recently done in attract. Private bool is attract. This is like super fragile, but it won't really break anything if it messes up. What does this do? Is this just making sure the game is running? Or no, it's just making sure that it hasn't just done it a moment ago. We're going to say we're in a track request, and if we are, then we're going to, and if that flag is still set, where do we, yeah, then we're just not going to, See, this is the interceptor stuff. Info defeated, research info. And we're just gonna not do this. There, and that'll fix some of our chat spam. And then if we do an actual request, I'm gonna make sure that's set to false. And on research info, okay. Start the bot. Now if we do this from attract, oh, I did a persistent poll. Do it again. Now it's just doing the same thing over and over. Actually, it might not be, Might not have figured out that XCOM was running yet. Might take it a moment to do that. Oh well, whatever. Main thing is that I don't think it'll spam the chatting. Let's get back to this. So we're gonna try. Oh right, I was gonna just so that you could see my face a little bit. It might not end this way. I was gonna blend these two together. For now, let's just straight up multiply them and see what that looks like. RGBA times base texture. That'll multiply the color of the rainbow with the color of my actual color. You can see here. So there's that. Let's actually, what's the lerp function in HLSO? I know there is one. It'd be real weird if there wasn't. Anybody know it off the top of their head? Probably just, like I'd assume that I'd used it in one of these tests that I've done at some point, but I'm not saying it. Lerp. Ew. Well, this is fine for now. I might want to weight it more one way or the other. Actually, let's look at the internet. The internet will probably tell me. Lerp HLS. Yeah, I can just lerp. Lerp X, Y, and S. So if that's the case, we should be able to. Well, I don't want to lerp it though, exactly. I just want to weight my multipliers here. Well, maybe I do want to lerp it. Let's just see what this is. My color to that color. So this should be pretty much the same. Oh, except the alpha still needs to be. Because now I'm lerping the alpha values, which I don't want to do. VBA.A equals base text. A. Okay, so it's not exactly what I wanted, but you can see I can make the rainbow more or less intense this way. But it's doing it with a lerp instead of a multiply, which doesn't look as, which just kind of desaturates it, looks like. Yeah, alternatively, I could just do RGBA times base pixel, and then do some different, and then multiply these by different weights. Say, but whatever, that's not real important. So if I want it, but if I want it to be, instead of, so right now it's just going left to right, because I'm just using my UV, I'm just using basically the horizontal position of this output, which I have red on this far left, and I have blue on this far right, and using the same, exactly the same position in the texture, which was is this. So yeah, you have, oh, well, girls are doing fine. Sylvie had her first nap in her crib today. That's because it was really bright in the bedroom. So that was kind of fun. So as you can see, it's red on this side and it's blue on this side. But what we want is we want it to be, and eventually we want it to be moving, but we'll just start with we want it to be red like here, and then out to blue, and then out, and then repeating. So what we'll do, no side effects other than my being, having a pain in my hand, really. So what we're going to do, instead of sampling with just our UV coordinate, we're going to sample with the distance of our UV coordinate to this point. Which is we're going to do rainbow origin All right, how do I initialize these things? I forget. I'll figure it out at some point. Uh, yeah, I am not I don't do shader code very much at all. Let's see, okay, it's like a C step symbol. Okay, we do float 2, and that should be 0.5 because this is 0 and this is 1, so the middle will be 0.5. And then I think 1 is the bottom. So the rainbow origin is there, and then we just need to find the distance for UV coordinate minus UV. That's the vector from here to whatever our current pixel is. And so the distance of that is is there just a magnitude so I don't have to multiply it out and do that? Probably there is. Length or magnitude, normalize. Normalize does part of, normalize needs to do the thing that, distance? Distance scalar between two vectors. Oh, maybe I can just do that and not have to subtract. Yeah, hi, H. Lalone. Distance, rainbow, origin, CP. So then what we're going to do is we're going to use this as the x of our sample here. We'll do that x this and see what that does. Probably I made it not compile somehow. Yeah. That apparently broke. So let's see if I can find a... I did not run this in the debugger. I can't see my error output. That's inconvenient. Oh, dirt. Don't subtract those anymore. There we go. Oops, I'm right. That's the wrong. That's both UV coordinates. So now we have this weird thing happening. Forgot I hadn't. I'll just sample this earlier. There. So now I have red here, and it goes up to blue on the outside. Now we probably want it to repeat more than, we probably want it to repeat instead of just being one long arc. You can kind of see in the corner that it does like go back to red up there. But to do that, all we got to do is multiply our UV by something, however much repeating we want, and now we got this. So that's neat. But let's make that, let's use one of our parameters for that. I have all these extra things I'm passing in, supposedly. What are they all? You just see what they are. You need to find the right file first. The right project, even. Yeah, I'll just use wave mulch for this, I think. Or interval. Actually, interval is the correct thing for this. But for some reason, I don't actually have it in here. That's just a float? Yeah. And so yeah, we'll use dist times interval, which is now 0, so it's all just this orange color. Say, or is some small value probably. Let's see. Somewhere in here. Interval. Although, my interval is capped at, well, all these values are capped at 1. So I'll, I guess instead of multiplying by interval, I'll divide by interval. There. And so now we got this. Here we got almost like a CRT scanline effect. Except that it's all curved. So yeah, there. That's not bad. Now I'm all rainbowy. And again, we can And let's use X wave molt. We could use X wave molt and Y wave molt to do our color weighting, but I'm gonna not do that just yet. Let's also modify our UV coordinate with just a little bit. So we can do this. Except it's going the opposite way I want, so let's use a negative sign first. There we go. So this is kind of what I was looking for. Let's also bring this back to point, because I want to see what that looks like. And you can see it's like very solid rainbows. I'm glad you like the stripes. That's what I was going for. I don't know if I like this better linear or point. I like both. They're different. So yeah, that was quicker than I was expecting. Is there a pot of gold at the end of my body? I don't know. I'd have to make one, I guess. I don't know how that would work. Let's see. So let me look at see what kind of parameters I want to actually have tunable here. I want to make the speed tunable. I guess I'll use max disk for that. Where is that parameter? Yeah, max disk. Okay. What that does. Not what I want. I don't want to change the mod value. I still want to mod by 10, but I do want to maybe multiply this by. Yeah, there we go. So I can slow it down. I can speed it up to this fast. Can't make it faster. That's probably fine without expanding this thing here. Also, I can scrub, I guess, because of how that map works. But yeah, we can adjust our like rainbow compression, so you get this, which is more just like smooth, and this like there's clearly bands. I don't think I have a real not terrible way to swap between point and linear. I'd have to use another texture sampler and sample the texture twice and then multiply by the one that I wanted. I don't know, it'd be weird, so I'm not going to do that. The other thing I could do is instead of wrap, I could have it be uh, bounce. There's some sort of bounce, right? Let's know. Actually, I don't think that's a. Let's see. There's wrap and there's clamp, but I think there's a bounce option as well. But I repeat. Clamp to edge, clamp to border, mirrored repeat. Mirrored repeat? Let's try that. Oh, I don't think that's what I want. Let's just try mirror. And there you can see now the pattern is goes like red to blue and then blue to red instead of repeating like before. It's kind of a different effect. It makes the blue a lot more visible than with a regular wrap. Oh, I'm not playing Castlevania. That's wrong. Now, fiddling with filters. There. And we can use different images if we wanted to have different patterns or whatever. Let's see. So I guess maybe I just make two different versions of this, one that was linear, or one that's linear and one that's point. But maybe I'll just do point to start with. There we go. Let's see, I suppose I can do the setup for enabling this with channel points, but I can't actually enable it with channel points until I can restart OBS. Because the bot is hooked up to the main OBS, not the extra OBS, and so it can't control the filters that are on there, and I can't install that filter on the main OBS until I bring my new changes with the to be able to actually use set textures in my filters. So let's see. Of course, this is in debug mode, so I can't see my project view. Let's see if I can remember what things are. Maybe if I just search for filter, I can find it. Enable filter. There it is. That looks like it. I also haven't set up the actual redemption thing anyway, but redemption.reward.title equal to rainbow base. And we'll do this. And that's all I have to do there. The system's already set up to. I should really use a switch state for this. But anyway, the system, the OBS plugin running on my main OBS is set up to look for filters with a particular name and set up and just do its own timer for how long they're active. It's like how the wave face works. If you look at this giant mess, which is my regular OBSception. If I were to look at, I'm going to do this without breaking anything. There used to be a studio mode, and I can go look at my actual things here and look at my webcam setup, filters. You can see I have this wave face filter on here. It just looks through everything and finds things with this name and turns them on for whatever the timer is set to, and then turns it back off. So that's about it for that filter. Go ahead and rename that to rainbow face point. Then I'll make a linear copy of this. Rainbow face linear, which for some reason did not put in the same monitor, so you didn't see me doing that, but I'm just changing this one to linear. So we have two different ones. We can do one. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Potential fraud. Should I answer that? No, not gonna. Rainbow face. Linear and rainbow face point. Linear and point. There we are. And also, if we want to, we can move around our rainbow center part. I could also do some math to make the rainbow more like bendy out instead of a perfect like semicircle. Well, I guess it's not a perfect semicircle because my aspect ratio isn't perfectly square, but it would could be more like this shape instead of this shape that it is. But it's fine this way, I think. But I can also fiddle with my origin, which is since I here so that everybody can see. As I said, 0.5, 0.1, I could move it to the middle. So go back. What did I call this thing? Oh, just this underscore test. Yeah, we can move this to the middle. And then it's, circles like a water ripple thing more. Or from one corner or the other. Woo! Over here. We'll just put it back. Ooh, my vision keeps blurring out. Can't tell just because the sun's in my got a lot of glare right now because the windows are open. Actually gonna close these blinds. Or this one anyway, the one that's really glaring off my HDMI switch. Oh. And of course, this will also stack with my wave face filter. Either doing the wave face first, so that the rainbow lines are straight, or you could do it in the other order. And then the rainbow lines will be warped along with everything else. So right now it's just doing the horizontal wave, so it's not super obvious. But if it it's a little bit more the other way than it would be. I guess you can see the difference if I swap them this way a little bit. It's not a huge visible difference, I guess. Yeah, well, I was expecting that to take a little longer. I don't actually have a big solid plan for what I wanted to do next. Let's see, what would be any other effects I want to try and do right now? So I kind of just want to try a different, let's make a different color pattern just for funsies. Rainbow blue. So what are some good colors? Let's throw a pink in here. Eh, maybe like just generate a gradient in here somehow. Not really. Yeah, let's do all like sort of more pastel-y hues like that. And sort of kind of the actual make the values kind of all over the place. Uh, maybe like yellow. Well, those are already pretty yellow. Oh, there's a nice like sea green. Let's do that. Maybe a little bit more than a green. And I don't know, maybe that. Yeah, let's try that. Bingo to that thing. And then I should just be able to. Actually, it's not really. I haven't really set it up to monitor for file changes on here. Well, I can still change it once. And then we have this different set of colors. And you could also do things where you use time to blend between the like two color sets. Like I could load two textures into here and blend between them across different times, so that it would go from like this very saturated rainbow color to that other pastel rainbow color set. Or yeah, there's just so many different things you can do. Just have to have a cool idea and do it. But I think I'm out of cool ideas for now, so let's think of a game to play.